Hi everyone, this is Kat of Catalyst Holistic Life Coaching, bringing your life in alignment with you. I'm here today to do your guidance reading for the new moon in Leo, which happened back on August 18th. And moving into this new lunar cycle, we have also just shifted into Virgo season. The sun moved into Virgo on August 22nd. So interesting to start a new lunar cycle in Leo, but we're also shifting into this Virgo, more like we have this fire moon, but we're in more of this earthly time. We're coming towards the end of summer. We're finishing these harvests that are left from the season. And we're preparing to move into fall when we shift into Libra. And we will also be shifting in Ayurveda from Pitta to Vata for the following 6 months after that. So it feels to me kind of like this sort of like calm before really like pushing forward. Even though this new moon in Leo, it's this very fiery energy of just being very proud and regal, and we have this opportunity to set intention for how we want to progress forward. We're feeling really inspired, and we just are unafraid to finally go out and face that truth. And then we have this Virgo sun coming in that is saying, okay, well, we need to make this practical plan. We need to break it down step by step. We need to be more logical about it, which is a good support. Instead of just throwing ourselves out there, we're kind of taking our time to really actually look at the big picture and see what steps need to be taken instead of rushing ahead when we're not quite ready. We also have a lot of energy around Mars going on right now. We have Mars squares happening with the outer planets of Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. Yes, Jupiter. And it's conjuncting each one of, or sorry, not conjuncting, squaring each one of these planets. And then it's going to do it again when Mars goes retrograde in a few weeks, and then again when Mars goes direct. So we're again that kind of energy of just like, okay, I have this idea, I'm ready to move forward, and then a little stop that says, but where are these first challenges coming from? What what's kind of setting the foundation for this? Let's take a look at this. Like, what are these challenges? And then we're going to retrograde back through them and just see like, oh yeah, like maybe this needs to be restructured in this way, or certain problems may come up with it. And then again in direct, we're going to see what we learned over these next few months up until December about how to integrate this, how it's come to fruition for us, and what kind of challenges were met along the way. So when I was meditating with the cards, it took me a while to get some imagery. But the first thing I actually kind of heard more so than anything was children's laughter. And I could see these blue butterflies kind of trickling in through a window, is what it looked like. But they were going out into the woods and they were landing on these trees, and the woods kind of reminded me of like, the dark wood, like everything started to become like really foggy. It started to turn into fall, and it kind of got that creepy glow to it, and it seemed like, there were kind of like shadow creatures around, and then the laughter turned into this little child that kind of fearlessly walked into this path. And this tree that one of these butterflies had landed on, it was starting to kind of lose its glimmer. And he just placed his hand on the tree and it just burst out into flowering. It erased all of this darkening energy, and it just burst into like this pink and golden like flowering, and it spread through everything. So very, very strong imagery. And for me, what this is saying is there's this sense of like innocence and kind of moving through these past transformations that have happened for us. We've been on these long journeys working through our childhood traumas, and we've kind of metamorphosized into these versions of ourselves into the world. But the world around us is kind of this dark and scary place, and it's this reflection of things that weren't quite integrated from these like childhood transformations. Like, we've made great progress, we've had a lot of this growth, but there's still this kind of beckoning of like, there's still all of this to work on. And having that child imagery there, I think this is really also calling for a sense of innocence. Leo is a very playful and loving sign. It's a sign of the heart. He rules the heart and the sun, and just loves to be playful, but is also a very like good protector. So I think this is really calling on like protecting our innocence, like reapproaching ourselves. Like, even though we've gone through this transformation, we're kind of facing these like shadow things that are going to start to come up, especially as we're moving into this darker season. Things are going to start dying out. The leaves are going to start changing. The land is going to change. The weather is going to change. Everything is about to shift again. And again, it's that kind of calm before we have to take these steps forward. So we're taking an inventory, is kind of what I'm getting the sense of with this Virgo energy as well. And we've got Mercury moving into Virgo, all these sorts of things. And so yeah, that's just my take on it. We'll get into the cards here in just a moment. So for just like the general overall message, we have the Muse Tarot, then working with the Moonology, and a couple goddesses to guide us through. So wherever you're at, whenever you're seeing this in this lunar cycle, it is exactly what you need to hear at this time. So taking everything in with your own guidance, your own intuition, and we'll go ahead and get started. So this is a general overall reading for the collective, so what's just going to be happening for everyone. So it may or may not resonate with you, but just notice, since we just started into the new moon, this could be something that's happening for the next month and may not be fully revealed to you until the full moon comes up. So just be open to bringing that in. Okay, so general overall energy of this new moon. First card we have is the Muse of Voices, also known as the King of Swords. So this is our truth, and again, that kind of playfulness. You know, we've got the kite, and I see this as dancing like with the winds of change as well. Dancing with life. And again, we've got another full moon here, so this might be just energy that's culminating for you until we come to that new lunar cycle. But just taking those heavy winds, taking that change, and learning to make it your truth, like riding on the wings of it. I see some kind of butterfly wings going on here as well. So there is this transformation that we're all going through, and it's something that's kind of cutting through what's no longer our truth, what's keeping us from being our authentic self, because Leo is also all about authenticity, really showing up as yourself, completely uncaring of projections from other people or judgments. I liked the description of the different fire signs, where Aries is the first fire sign, and it's just kind of like, it feels like it has to take action, it has to do these things to be able to gain this sense of security, whereas Leo is just secure in themselves. They're just like, I do deserve this. That's all I am. Like, I don't have to strive for anything. I am just me. And so that's something I see here, is this energy shifting around, and cutting ties too. I hear like freedom in my head. We're feeling more free from what's bound us before. We are riding through the wind, we are growing our wings, and we're unbinding ourselves from past energies. Because we also have the Knight of Emotions, or the Knight of Cups. So there is this softer, like more deeply fulfilling, loving energy coming in for us. We're learning to be more nurturing, more emotional in a healthy way. We're navigating our emotions more. For some people, this can be just an offering of new kinds of passion. I'm seeing this heart here, like heart fulfillment. We're feeling nourished. We're feeling the thirst for life again, is what I'm hearing. We feel cleansed. We feel more centered in our truth. We feel more understanding of who we really are. And I see this as, usually sometimes this can mean like an offering of love coming in for us, but I see this as us offering like our real love. Like we have come back to the true heart space. We've come back to our childlike play. We've come back to our true essence, and we're ready to give that love back out into the world openly. We are showing our hearts. We are unafraid to be seen and be emotional and connect. Okay, so that could be something that's being released once the full moon comes around. So let's look into the moon cards and see what we have going on here. So first card represents what is rising up in the collective, what is coming through. So full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So even just collectively, we have all of these different issues that are happening. We have the quarantine, the pandemic, the protests. Lots of things are coming to light that are, issues. But seeing this as more of a personal, this is also Cancer, so it's very much in the home. So a lot of us have been facing these personal challenges in our home life, in our own space, especially since we've been spending more time at home. We're kind of seeing maybe we've just kind of painted over the problems a little bit, and we haven't really taken a moment to look at the cracks in the foundation. And this is saying like, the resolution is coming, and this could also be in ourselves, like our home self, our home within ourselves. We are seeing those cracks again, the kind of like little shadowy aspects that are still kind of drifting about there, that are kind of running the show, making everything seem really scary when it's not. And we're just seeing this new light where we are ready to kind of clean out. I'm seeing this like water energy of cleansing. And so this month, what's rising up is this solution. We're seeing how to get ourselves out of these cycles. This has been something maybe ongoing for some of you for most of your life, really long periods of time, shifts that have been happening for years in the making. And it's time for that resolution to come to fruition. We are seeing the bigger picture. Okay, so second card we have is the main message of this new moon. And that's funny, we have new moon in Cancer as well. You and your loved ones are safe. So we just ended this new moon in Cancer cycle. We had 2 Cancer moon cycles recently. And so I feel like this is just a reassurance that it's safe for you to continue to do this work, whatever has been coming up for the past couple months. A lot of intensity, maybe a lot of things in the home life having to do with Cancer, things with the mother wounding, and Cancer rules the 4th house, which is the home and family, and really like personal stuff that we cling to, attachment. And so this is just reminding you that this is safe to let this go, I think, because Cancer likes to really cling. And especially with the full moon here too, like whatever problem you think is like you're worrying about your safety, this resolution is coming up this month. Like you're seeing the big picture. So this is just a reminder that it's safe for you to kind of step out and take this risk, find these resolutions. And I think this is just a nice message with everything going on as well. You know, that you and your loved ones are protected. You know, as we work through this, we're learning to help cultivate and understand more of these like shadow works. And the more that we start to work through these like emotional like burdens, the more we'll start to feel relieved and start becoming healthier. So just be assured that you and those around you are safe, and it's safe for you to be experiencing this. Don't get overwhelmed by these projections. Like you're gonna feel much more free as this comes up. Okay, so the last card represents the final outcome of this lunar cycle, like what the collective lesson is going to be. And there it is. We have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. So there's this still period of the push-pull thing going on that we've just kind of been having all year. And we're going to get the kind of go ahead. We're going to see, again, everything. We're going to see how to take this resolution. We're going to kind of clear out the last little bit of clutter before we move into the fall season. And then we're going to take that action. I feel like this is a clear-cut sign, too, of taking that action. We're finally ready to speak our truth. We're ready to just cut those ties that are binding us. And we see it clearly now. This is a new beginning as well. Aries is the very first sign. So a new start, a new way of being. And again, that innocence energy. Aries is the infant. So finding your inner child again. And maybe also learning to really protect yourself. Like that's something I'm seeing here too with this kind of Cancer mother energy, and also this offering of love. Remember to be gentle with yourselves during this lunar cycle. Like if you're feeling isolated and separated from your family while you're going through this really hard time, and you're not understanding like, why is all this like stuff coming up? Maybe it's stuff that you thought you processed, or maybe it's just all new things that you don't entirely understand. And just kind of parenting and nurturing yourself, since I'm seeing this double Cancer. Being the mother for yourself, whether that's for you or maybe you do have children, protecting yourself, taking care of your emotions, nurturing what comes up, because we're also in that Virgo sun. Virgo is also a nurturing earth sign. It is the self-care practice. So that could be something that you're also starting to implement newly, is we've had maybe these mental binds on ourselves. We've been really negative towards ourselves. Maybe these shadow aspects are these negative entities that we've created throughout our life. And we're finally ready to feel lighter and hear the truth, and not these projections that we put out onto the world. We are coming to our loving, nurturing selves again. So that is what I am seeing here. Okay, so moving on into our goddess guides for the month. We've got two. Oh, okay. So we've got the goddess Shakti in alignment. Shakti representing transformation. This is also the card number 45 or 9 reduced. So I see this as like this inner transformation. And again, that kind of message imagery of the butterfly. Shakti is like also this like feminine like energy. And seeing all this water, like we're really transforming this like feminine Maybe some of you are really in this like mother wound. But just collectively, like we know this with people is at least, where I live or in like my country, sometimes it's really hard for us to truly be emotional or to truly speak from a like loving place because of all of our wounding. I think just collectively as human beings, we just have this wounding. And Shakti's alignment here, her alignment message is saying, trust in this process. Even though it may seem scary, of letting this go, like again, remembering that you are safe, you are protected, you are guided. And maybe even calling on this like Shakti energy, spending time with yourself to nurture and to grow. And again, that not being hard on ourselves and not trying to force anything either. This feels like this kind of like pause before stuff starts happening again, before we're ready to take action towards the end of the month. So we are going through this inner transformation all personally. And if we just align with accepting like what's being released, what's being let go of, we're making this big shift together, and it's ending for something for the better. Okay, and then the next goddess we have is Athena, also in alignment. She's the goddess of knowledge. She's got the owl, and she's also got the number 5. So with Athena in her alignment, this is saying like get all the information, like get, she's normally like the goddess of wisdom and knowing. But what are you blind to? What are you not seeing clearly? Because these old aspects of ourselves, these stories that we have been telling, are trying to come up because they know like we're going through this transformation. We're ready to shift and change that fire and push it all out. We're ready to be our true selves. And that will cling. These sorts of attachments will cling and try to fight any way that they can to stay. So they will throw things at you that, try to affirm these things. And so taking kind of more of a step back and really getting the information in, getting your clarity, and trusting in your inner wisdom as well. This isn't something that people are going to be able to show you or guide you through necessarily. You might be able to get insights and more information from different sources, but ultimately like this is your experience and your lesson, and you're going to be the only one who knows what steps you need to take in order to make these big changes. So I see this also as like, surrendering and getting clear information, like making sure whatever information that does come in is not a reflection of something that is not truth. So taking that all in with a grain of salt before really taking action. Okay? And that truth. The truth will set you free. That is immediately what came to mind. And I've been getting a lot of imagery of dragonfly medicine has been showing up a lot for me over this last week. And that has to do with truth transcending illusion. So, and that's what transformation is a transcendence as well. We are transforming from this old self to this new self. And it's we're leaving these illusions of self behind, and we are seeing within what is truth. Okay. Whew. All right. So lots of more shifting energy. This is a lot, like collectively, all of us are feeling this, just like how much more is going to happen kind of thing. And I think it's really just the beginning of everything. This is just kind of the shaking up before everything kind of settles and separates out again. So taking it lightly, that nurturing, feeling your emotions as they come up, allowing them to be. This could be a really emotional month maybe, as you start to set new intentions for moving forward and moving from your heart space, from your true self. So whatever you decide for your new moon intentions, your new moon cycle, really coming to the heart space and how you want to live and move forward from there. Okay? Awesome. So, yeah, that is all I have for you today. I will be having some new blogs coming up soon, so check those out. We've got classes and yeah, lots more information and stuff, going through some personal transformations myself that I am going to be sharing more and more. So excited to be bringing that your way. If you liked the content, please feel free to comment. You can also subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. I love hearing your stories and your experience. This is maybe something you can save and reference for later. If you want something more personal and want to know how this moon is personally affecting you, I do moon readings for you specifically, and we can also take a look at your birth chart and look into the astrology of how this new moon is affecting your transits. So if you want some of that, all my links below, all my information, and if you'd also just like to exchange energy in any way, you can send tips or anything of the like to my CashApp links below. So that is all there. Thank you again and enjoy your new lunar cycle. We'll see you next time. Bye.